Wednesday evening. I am Pugs Moran, the dude doing the Orwellian 1984 thing. That's James Parker. Look at him. Look at him. And the other guy is back from vacation. It's E, everybody. Back from vacation.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, sure. I mean, we all wish everyday life could be like, where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Paradise Island.
I was running through the Beach Boys song in my head.
Help me,
Kokomo.
Rhonda.
No, Kokomo.
Yeah, Bahamas in there.
Aruba, Bahama, come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go Bermuda?
It's just crazy how clean the water is there, like the beaches.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know.
They keep them waters too, rich folk. You rich folk have to clean water because us dirty poor people, we're not allowed to swim in it. Where'd Jim go? Where did James go?
Oh, I'm here. Hang on, I hit the wrong button.
What happened? The camera just went out. Oh, this is very sad. All right, well, I'm glad we've all gathered today. Come on into the chat room. I see the room is filling up. We've got Cameron. We've got... Hold on. Why is the chat room proper? There we go. Now it's right on my side. Nope, now it's not right on my side. All right. Hey, guys, I want to start things off right here. First of all, a couple of things we need to address. We need to address why there was no show last night. James and I will handle the heavy lifting on that explanation. Secondly, we got to talk about tonight something that I've been talking about on the noon show for a couple of days because the details keep growing and we keep learning more and more. And I need to know, are either of you two familiar with what I'm calling Alabama Boat Dock Brawl 23. Anybody familiar with this?
Yeah, Montgomery, right?
Yeah. CNN broke in this afternoon with special live coverage of the sheriff of Montgomery, Alabama.
Be ashamed, CNN. This is for us to deal with. You're debasing yourself by reporting on this for more than 5 seconds.
Thank you. How about you, E? Are you familiar at all with the Alabama Boat Brawl?
Is this the one where there appears to be like maybe a black security guard and somebody parked their
is this
pontoon boat there?
Is this the one? Because in your life of leisure, you have seen so many of these situations. For the rest of us, this is the only one. Yes, that's the one we're talking about here. Have you seen the whole video?
I saw a good portion of it, or what I thought to be a good portion of it. It was weird how it escalated.
Oh, how it kept going. How it kept, like, you thought it was over, and then it flares up again. It's like a good baseball fight.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what numbskull, like, parks his pontoon
All right,
boat there?
Hey, mister, we're going to get into it. So I want you to save those thoughts. That's why I want you here. Because as I was breaking it down on the High Noon Show, when we first saw the video yesterday, Monday, I said, we need E. We need E. We need a basic Commodore there at the boatyard. We need him to explain the rules of why this is such an I mean, seriously, boater rules are serious. People get pissed when you make a wake. People get pissed when, you're somewhere you shouldn't be and somebody else is trying. Very serious stuff out there. Maritime law and whatnot. Okay, also, boys. Want to talk to you about, we didn't cover what we did last night. What's the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh, yes. Something I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, the legend of Johnny Manziel. Are you guys familiar with the new Netflix documentary that just posted today? It's the #1 thing on Netflix. It's Johnny Football, his story, his documentary story.
Yeah, so we did a preview of it on the TV show I'm working on yesterday, and so I had to go reread his story. And it's a little bit longer than I thought, but it's pretty much on brand for what you would expect, even if you don't know the details. I'm really looking forward to it, though, because he was born in Bug Tussle. And so he went to high school in Kerrville, but his family's from here, and they're kind of a known entity. They own like a big coliseum here and whatever.
Well, what's that? What's that you just said? His family?
Yes.
No. That's not true. What you just said is what everybody believes, but it's not true.
Okay, good.
The story that they come from oil money and all that stuff. Here's the deal. I actually watched the documentary. It's 90 minutes. I watched it this afternoon while I was making some nice chicken and dinner and rice, and I ate it with my dinner. I had it on the background. It's one of these untold stories, the Untold series or the Untold catalog of episodes on Netflix. It's kind of like ESPN's 30 for 30, but it's called Untold, and they have a whole. This is the latest one. It concerns Johnny Manziel and all the shit that we thought we knew about him that was true, that he made up about himself in order to either make excuses for shit or whatever. I saw it. I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about what we all kind of think of Johnny Manziel. Yeah, E.
Well, what I had heard was this was him, going on a $5 million bender, ultimately ending up in him committing suicide.
Attempt.
In committing suicide, he attempted it, and evidently the gun which he attempted it with malfunctioned. And so suicide was never committed, but he did try, and there was something weird about the gun, which to this day he can't say how or what, other than that obviously God had a different plan for him.
Hold on. Let me the dog who was enjoying the night air now wants to come in. So you guys continue on. Let me let the dog in.
Well, I thought it was interesting how he was trending, because he said that he had contemplated or attempted suicide. And that was like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, see, so if he's going to be busting up a bunch of urban myths, that makes it even better, because, I mean, that is just the assumed story. People talk about it at work. People talk about it when you're hanging out with your kids, friends, parents. So it's him and Patrick Mahomes occupy quite a bit of the football conversation around here.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you guys were just talking about, but I'm sure it was fantastic. All right, so those are the things I want to get into here. We got 50 minutes. James, what did we do last night? We should probably start there.
You want to start there?
Yeah, shouldn't we?
All right, so Dean Lewis from The Jagger Show, from Live 105.3, from The Edge before that, from Decades of Comedy before that.
Dallas comedy legend, Dean Lewis.
He hosts, he teaches a comedy workshop. It's a 6-week course where a little class comes in, on Mondays for 6 weeks. And he basically gives away the story. He gives away all the secrets that he's amassed and how to properly do stand-up comedy for the beginner. And that's where we were. It was 3.5 hours. It felt like about 45 minutes. And we'll be doing it again next week and the week after that. And it will culminate in a showcase that you're invited to. I don't mean Emil. I mean everyone watching. Please, God, come out. And
no. Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited to what I feel bad for the rest of the very talented individuals in our class. But let's not kid ourselves. This is going to be a comedy death match on stage between James and myself. And you're all invited.
Yeah.
Awesome.
At least that's how I'm looking at it.
Let's go.
Sorry, Anoop, one of the dudes in our class, Anoop. I guess he's like he's a comic. Like he's done it before. Like he's actually got stage time and all that kind of stuff. Anoop.
Yeah, that ain't his name.
What's his name?
Arun. It's
all right.
A-R-U-N.
Oh, you rolling your eyes at me? Where was I raised? Is that a name that's common to me that I should be expected to remember? No, I'm struggling. With all due respect to Arun, I didn't mean to call you a noob. I'm sorry. It's a fabulous name, just not one I've encountered before. Well, James, are you done trying to make me out to be a racist?
Yeah, because Chapel Hill is just swimming with Aruns.
Well, no, you just paid attention better. And besides, I know a guy named Anoop. And I thought, I thought I got him confused.
They all look alike. Is that what you're saying?
Anyway, we all had to write cards. Like James, you want to explain this exercise that we got to do?
So in the card writing exercise,
why are we only seeing the top of E's head? What is going on?
I don't know, he's like, I need to frame myself better.
Just leave it. Just leave. Yeah, it's just it's very Letterman, very 1985 Letterman.
Very Andy Kaufman.
All right. So go ahead, James. Explain the card thing, because
Do you not know you're out of frame, E?
Just let him go.
So each member of the class had to stand up in front of the class, and we all had to write just initial font.
You're terrible at telling these stories. We got to go and stand up on the legendary improv stage right there with a microphone with people sitting around us, and we just had to stand there bathing in the spotlight. And what was the exercise? Everyone staring at us had a card in their hand and a pen, and they wrote down 4 things that immediately jumped out about us. So I'm standing there, and I got all these strangers looking. Anyway, this is my point. Arun wrote down that he thought I looked cool. So that was very good. I felt very good. And James wrote that I looked poor, which I thought was very, very typical of James.
You were dressed insanely poor. Like, you're not as poor as you dressed.
James, I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt, and you called me. I got there in 15 minutes. Do you know what I was wearing when you told me you have to be there in a half hour? Is that true or not? Did I not have any? I just ran. You're lucky I came.
All true. That's all true. But also, I don't know.
I'm gonna look good next week.
Besides you guys, I don't know a whole lot of people older than me that wear baseball caps every day, like they're about to go out and play center field.
Well, there's E right there.
That's what I'm saying. Besides you two.
Well, really, we're the only two. Well, baseball caps are extremely common, especially in the summer months, with men who, like myself, are bald or those who shave their heads. So, James, I don't know. You're trying to make us feel marginalized, and I just don't feel like we are.
Y'all dress poor. Both of you dress poor.
Okay. All right.
So Arun said that you look cool, and cool. James said that you look poor.
No, wait. Let me fix it. Let me give you exactly what he said. He didn't say I look cool, right? I should have missed that because I don't think by anyone's estimation I look cool. He said I look like a cool guy. That's what I got.
Oh, you look like a cool guy.
He's a good judge of character.
That's a good
comment. Arun.
And so what did Arun say about James?
I don't know. I didn't have Arun. What did Arun say about you? Were you able to tell everyone's handwriting? Because I was.
Yeah, he was the darker ink, right? I think you want me to go get my cards?
Yeah, I'll get my cards too. Hold on. Hold on. We can do this, right? Yeah. Go, D. Talk about vacation.
Well, I'm just curious as to, like, you know, if Arun said that you were cool, or kind of that you look like you're a cool guy, what his impression of James would be. Because I don't get the same impression when I look at James as I do when I look at you. So, for those in the audience, that's my thought. The Marvelous Mrs. Pugs. Get my room ready. I'm coming. Oh, okay. Well, your room is ready. Let's see. All right. So
you understand the exercise. So we had to just stand there and not say anything. And everyone was given a blank card and a pen, and they were said, just stare at them silently and just write the first 4 things that come into your mind about them. Remember, it was a comedy class. So everybody was,
You know, I'm having some FOMO, fear of missing out. I maybe should have attended this last night. Sounds like it was fun.
I think you could. I think you should feel free to come and audit the class. Maybe decide to join if you would like to. Here were some of. You want to hear some of the things people in my class wrote about me? Here we go. Here are my cards.
Sure.
All right. One person said that. This is James. He seems like Chicago. Because I don't know why. I was wearing a baseball hat. I was wearing a White Sox hat. And then he goes, he's an old guy dressed like a kid. This is James talking about me.
Wow. Very, very flattering.
Baseball hat. It's another observation that James, he can't get past it. He just can't get past it. And then he just puts, see it. You can see it at the bottom. I'll let you read it. He look poor. You look poor. Yeah, fuck you. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt on a 105-degree day in Texas.
Wow.
Oh my God. All right. Somebody else said, all right, I think this was an oop, said northern part of the country. Okay. Because I think also
because of the Chicago
baseball
hat.
Glasses and a beard. Yeah. And then Arun thought skateboards when he looked at me.
Skateboards.
Also said that I was a sci-fi nerd, which I am not. And then he ends it with cool guy. I got a cool guy from a stranger.
All right.
Let's see who else. Then there was a lady. The lady said solid beard, cool glasses. He appears to be into sports. He probably hates socks because I was wearing gym shoes with no socks. Oh, look at this one. Pugs appears to be very likable. That's my brand, baby. Pugs appears to be very. Where's likable?
Likable. Okay.
Likable. Okay, I will take that. And then another dude said Pugs, older, sports, traffic, rebel, good stature. Said good stature. Apparently,
Where did he get traffic from?
I don't know.
What looks trafficy about you?
I don't know what traffic meant. I don't know.
Traffic.
Anyway, those were some of the cards. I don't know where the cards are. What is James doing? Where did James disappear? So for the next 6 weeks, guys, our Radio Misfits show on Monday nights is going to be interrupted as James and I attempt to learn how to do stand-up comedy. And you think you just walk in and you just jump up on stage and you do it. Maybe that's how I thought of it. Maybe that was the disrespect that I showed the craftsmen that are true professional comedians. But that was a serious class. Dean Lewis is a serious dude, takes it very seriously. You know, we learned about writing structure last night and setups, and we got homework that we got to do. We had some fun exercises. Man, so when you were in high school and you heard about the stuff that like the theater department did, like the crazy exercises, we were all like, oh man, that seems gay, you know, because it was the 70s and 80s and you could say it like that. But now you can't. But you'd be like, oh man, it seems lame, right? They were doing like weird like acting exercises. And at 15, you're like, I don't want to do that. That seems uncool. Let me tell you something. At 50, that stuff is fun. You get to do that stuff now. You know, it's like there's no what do we call it? There's no veneer of being an awkward teen or whatever it was. Any judgments? What I'm saying is there were some fun acting class type things that we did that I enjoyed. Where is James?
So do you see yourself like taking this on the road?
No.
This stand-up act?
No. This honestly, I had never even considered doing this. This was just thrown at me via text by James a few days ago, and I'm like, what? What is this? And then, it was for Dean, and we all like Dean, and any opportunity to go hang out with Dean. And so James is like, are we doing this? And I'm like, when is it? He's like, tomorrow. I'm like, huh? What? And so I go, okay, let me see if I'm free. And it turns out that I was. So I called him at like 5:30 on Monday. And I go, dude, when is this thing? I go, I'm free. Let's do it. And he goes, a half hour from now. And I'm like, oh, God. And that's why James wrote on my card that I looked poor. James, I went through all of my cards. Multiple people said good things about me. Where are yours? Do you care so little about Dean Lewis's teachings that you didn't even keep the cards?
Well, I thought I kept the cards. I can't find them, but I also have evidence that kids played in my studio while I was at work today. So they just moved it, and I don't know where they moved it to.
Well, not a big deal. I went through my cards. So
they were like, these can't be dads. They say nice things about him.
Yeah. Did people say nice things about you?
Generally, 2 people said it looks like I drive a Camaro.
Anybody say that you have a square Frankenstein head?
Well, you did.
Oh yeah, that was my first observation.
Looks like you drive a Camaro. Is that not good?
No, that's fair.
It's fair. I said that. He looks like, because he looked like, like a character from Dazed and Confused up there that might drive a Camaro.
Yeah, the funny part is someone else said it looks like I drive a Camaro. You're not the only one.
Are you kidding me? 2
Right.
people said that?
Uh-huh. So I guess it looks like I drive a Camaro. And I'm what?
So it's me.
I think it looks like I drive a Camaro in 2001.
That's pretty awesome.
Speaking of Camaro, can I switch lanes just a little?
Sure. Maybe if you frame your damn face.
Well, I've done better.
I think he's just trying to drive Ed insane, but it's also working on you.
My chair is too low. I think it's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Your camera can't adjust.
Yeah, you can move the camera. All right, go on.
Well, that would be a problem.
Change lanes. We don't need the behind the scenes work.
Yeah. So like Camaro, what has happened to the Mustang? Is the Mustang even a car anymore?
I think it's an SUV now, right? Isn't it an electric SUV? Isn't that what the Mustang is?
I don't know. Like I saw somebody get out of a Mustang the other day, and I was like, "What has happened?"
Yeah,
like, wasn't there like a whole clique of people that had these like 5.0 like engines, and like when I was on the highway, they'd come up next to me and they want to race, and like that they're not selling them new cars anymore?
No, they are. Here, this is the 20. There is a Mustang SUV model that exists. That is that is an option, but you can still get. This is the 2024 Mustang GT.
Ah, okay.
So it exists.
So it is still alive.
Yeah, and there's a black one.
I've never seen that one. The only ones I see is that like bus looking thing.
Yeah, I think maybe that was that's a good looking car, man. That's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
I was never a Mustang.
I feel better. It's like I was like, what happened?
Yeah. Here, what about where's that Mustang SUV? We should show that. Because I know a lot of Mustang people got mad. Wait, where's the Mustang?
Like Jeff got mad.
Is that it? 2022? Is it oh, okay. So maybe they stopped making it. Maybe they just went, yeah, this was.
Or is it Jeff said in the chat room, it's a sedan version. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, no, that can't have a Mustang horse on it.
Yeah. Well, here's a Mustang SUV.
Like, because if somebody said you look like you're driving a Mustang, like that might be like a slant on you. Like Camaro, I didn't know it had slid like that.
What? No, why did you think James looking like he drives a Camaro was a slam? Why are you taking it?
I don't know.
It's not a slam. I didn't mean it as a slam. I meant it as funny. But, just because it's so weirdly specific and all that driving a Camaro conjures, that is the 2022 Mustang SUV. I see a lot of these. They look good for an SUV, but it's bad for the Mustang brand, I think.
It's a crossover, isn't that the word they like to use?
Probably. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't take the idea that I might drive a Camaro as an insult, because even if you mean it as an insult, I aspire to be a guy who drives a Camaro.
You can have a Camaro. There you go.
No, if you're trying to insult me, I see myself as beneath your insult. So no, I'm not offended.
Well, I don't know. Like when people say, "Oh, he looks like a guy that drives a Corvette," that generally is like a negative thing too.
No.
Yeah.
No, that means like you're over 50 and you're in really expensive sunglasses and you're throwing money around and you got like a pinky ring. And
yeah, I'm with James. I don't think it's a negative. I mean, I think it's a humorous way of reducing someone to the car they drive, but I don't think it's a I don't think it's a slam.
It's also a humorous way to insult somebody with a $120,000 car.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a loser.
It's a little bit, it's a little bit of a slant. It's not meant to promote him.
Sounds like a promotion to me.
Well, again, I don't know. I guess. Okay, so what we're saying is if I go, like, for instance, I used to call Rick Perry when he was governor of Texas, when I was on the air here, I used to call him Governor Corvette because he drove a Corvette. And remember, he got pulled over going too fast and he said, "Do you know who I am?" Very embarrassing. So I just always called him Governor Corvette, but I didn't mean that derisively, like there was anything wrong with being a Corvette. It's just, it was odd that a governor would be racing around the streets in a Corvette. So is that a negative? Like if I was to say he looks like he drives a Corvette, he seems to think that's a negative. That dude looks like a Corvette driver. I guess it all depends on context and how you say it.
Well, see, it's different for E because he can actually afford a Corvette.
Yeah, he doesn't aspire for a Corvette.
Like, I can't insult somebody for a Corvette. It's like, he owns this thing I can't even afford. That's not a...
All right. Speaking of that fellas, let's
Montgomery.
Yeah, let's talk. I want to talk about the boat brawl. Okay, who's into this? Now this happened. Here's how I want to do this. This occurred over the weekend in Montgomery, Alabama, on the commercial docks. There are these docks down there, and apparently it's a tourist attraction. They have bars and restaurants, and people gather, and they have these giant river boats that seat 1,000 people, and they take tourists out on ride. You know what I mean? It's that kind of place. So the situation over the weekend is that a couple of good old boys, a couple of dudes, and now let me tell you all this stuff, because I've watched all the raw video, and I'm going to present you a couple of different videos from different angles that show us different fights, okay? So I've watched this, and I've come up with what I believe to be the scenario. I think the good old boys in the boat were picking up their buddy who was at the bar that was right adjacent to this dock. I think that when they pulled up, because remember, he's just paying his bill, man. He's going to jump right in. But there was a giant paddle boat trying to park in this commercial docking area, this tourist docking area. And the paddle boat could not dock. And incidentally, the video footage that we've all seen is from people on that paddle boat that was trying to dock but couldn't, because these hillbillies in their stupid boat thought that it would be totally cool if they just tie off for an hour, get a drink, or whatever, or pick up their friend. So we see the video. The video picks up with one of the dudes on the boat having an argument with the dock worker, the guy who works there, who's like, get your boat out of here. I'm trying to move this like 15-ton paddle boat in here. It's like that kind of a situation. So he's trying to get him out of there. They wouldn't leave. As a matter of fact, they got out and they got in the dude's face. Now, this is the guy who works there. He's wearing a cute little sailor suit. And soon that sailor suit is torn off him, and all kinds of fists are flying and all kinds of things. So that's the ramp up. One thing that we do see is we see a guy come running down the ramp. Now, this guy is apparently the guy that they were going to he's just going to pay his bill and then jump in, right? The guy that they're waiting for. Does this sound like a scenario that you could see happening at like a Sneaky Pete's or something? And then, guy's not moving and you got to move. You understand the story so far?
I mean, yeah, I get it. It's just knucklehead mania, it sounds like, at this point.
Right. So dude's like, you can't tie off here. And he's like, I can tie off anywhere I want. Oh, here comes my friend now. And then the friend comes running down the ramp, and he puts his hands up, and now he's arguing with the dude in the sailor suit. And out of nowhere, another dude comes up and just punches sailor suit guy, just cold cocks him. Then sailor suit guy, he does this cool little thing I want you to watch for. He takes his hat off and he throws it in the air like he's going to distract the guy, but it doesn't work. And he gets punched in the face. However, sailor suit man does do very well defending himself. He's doing very well. And that's when like 6 other dudes come out of nowhere and just start stomping his ass. Now, it's like 6 dudes on one dude. Here's the problem. It's 6 white dudes on one black dude. And this is all going down next to a gigantic paddle boat filled with, as best I can tell, predominantly African-American college athletes or whatever, because they get off this boat, man, and it turns into a brawl. I mean, there are dudes who look like they play linebacker for Auburn suddenly on the scene, and these hillbilly boat guys, they're like, oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, it got out of hand crazy. So we're going to watch the video. That's all you need. That's the setup. They were not supposed to be parking there. It's filmed by people on the boat, and we'll let you be the judge. By the way, James, I know that you're going to have some commentary while we let this play. So if you want me to just pause it, just give me a shout and I'll pause it and you go, okay? Because I don't want to be talking over the sound, because that always seems to sound bad. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Alabama boat fight. Whew. I'm telling you, so far, this is one of my favorite stories of the year. Where's the video? Hold on. I got to pull up the video. James, do you have any questions so far about the story that I've just told?
Well, I have seen the video all the way through once, the main video, and then I saw a couple of different angles, but they were edited in like after the fact. So I've really just watched one YouTube video that had 3 different angles.
Okay.
So I'm interested to know the follow-up, like who got arrested. I only saw the one dude even attempting to be arrested. That was the Chairhead man.
Chairman, yeah. Okay, we're gonna see Chair Brother.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan or whatever.
He just starts crushing people's skulls. I mean, like I said, I have watched this a number of times through. I've paused it. I've seen it from different angles. I have only focused on one guy the entire time. I can tell you what everybody's doing. There is some violence going on in this fight. One guy gets body slammed to the boardwalk, and then another guy jumps up in the air and curb stomps his head, coming right down on his. All right, here we go. Let's just watch this. So what we're seeing here, white shirt guy, he works there. He's like, you guys can't park here. Now, this is just from one angle from the boat, and we're going to let it play through. Here we go. Let's give you some. But wait, did you see the hat toss bit? Here, watch it. The hat toss to distract him. Look over there. It didn't work. All right, we have a lady on the boat screaming, "Go help that brother." We got ladies involved. Okay, here comes a big dude. All right, look at this dude. See the guy who just ran down the ramp? This is a big dude. He could probably whip a lot of ass. He seems to be a peacemaker. Comments on this guy? Anyone want to talk about this kid?
That's a level of dedication right there.
This kid jumped off the paddle boat into the river in order to swim to the defense of the guy who was getting his ass kicked.
Well, right now he's in a maybe noble situation because you're right. The first guy that comes down the ramp is trying to be a peacemaker. He's not punching anybody. He's breaking people up. They're wrestling on the ground, and he's trying to separate them. So if this guy's going over there to do the same thing, he's a guardian angel. If he's going over there to escalate it, then he's, just fuel to the fire.
Well, I can tell you this, as far as the first guy that came down the ramp, I've watched the full 4 minutes from multiple angles, focusing on him and his whereabouts throughout the entire thing. The entire time he was a peacemaker. He showed zero aggression. And that's good because he looks to be about 6'5" and 240 pounds. He's a big dude. This kid who jumps into the pool, the river, I also watched him. He disappears for a while, but then pops back up in a second video. He never gets to throw hands the way he truly wants to, but he's ready. He's ready if it ever goes off in him. E, any thoughts on this so far?
I mean, it appears to me that it's racially motivated just because of the number of white people that appear like they're attacking a black person. And I can't figure out why.
Well, yeah, man, that's the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about, because here's the thing. It does look like a race riot. A race riot almost broke out. We're going to let this thing play. You're going to see it. It looks like a race riot. We have no way of knowing that this could just be a situation. Like, we don't, the reason that this dock worker guy and these drunk idiots got into a fight, it has nothing to do with, as far as we know, someone N-word or whatever. No, it was just two human beings who got sideways with each other and a big fight broke out. Now, at some point, it was like 7 white guys, if we're going to reduce us all down to color, and that's what we always seem to do. It did look like 7 white guys stomping a black guy, but we have no way of knowing that this was racial in origin or intention or anything. James?
I think you're being way too dismissive of what E said, because it sounds like the people on the boat and the people that are about to jump in here in about 5 seconds are thinking the same things E is thinking.
Which, yeah, I'll agree with you.
Yes, they see this as a...
That doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean that they're right in their assessment of the situation.
Of course not. But, he's not wrong. And you think the guy that jumped in the river there, do you think he would have jumped in if it was you getting your ass whipped by 6 white guys?
I don't know. That's a pretty loaded question.
E, what about you? Do you think you'd be jumping in if you were getting your ass whipped by 6 white guys?
It's hard to say when people jump in. I would have jumped in here for the guy getting his ass.
Yeah, I would have as well. Color or not. Absolutely. So that's why, James, that's a hard question to ask. I get what you're getting at. You seem to be leaning heavily that his motivation to running to the aid was because a brother was getting his ass kicked by a bunch of crackers, right? And I don't know that to be true. You're right. That very well may be true. But I'd like to think, first of all, I've been on the lake where E has done things for just complete strangers, not with no regard for skin color or anything. So when he says that he would probably jump in, I absolutely believe it. and then I'd feel pressured to go in after him. So that's how we'd be involved.
I don't know. It's just like when I'm looking at it just from this
It does.
point,
It looks
and when
racial.
I saw
It looks
it
racial.
looks racial.
Yeah, I don't think it is though. I don't believe this is. I think this is just we live in a powder keg of a racial era where everything we are always reduced down to the skin color of the people involved, which is unfair. This might now I could be wrong. These guys could have been like, "Hey, N-word, I ain't taking no." That could we don't know, but
or the people that
suggested that yet. Nobody has suggested that yet.
It's like the way that it starts, right? It's just a dude and another dude. But then it's like every time there's a new dude coming in, it's a white guy. And then there's like somebody yelling, "Hey, somebody go help that brother." And then the one brother comes in, and then it's still
really.
Well, but they're not going at him with the the fierceness that they did before, so he kind of tones it down.
He did tone it down. No one's stomping on his head. No one's hitting him with a chair. No one's getting body slammed. This thing's about to break up.
Yeah, it feels less.
Let's keep watching. That's interesting. He's getting up. He's getting up and he's trying to flee. He's falling. All right, so he's trying to walk away after just getting stomped by all these guys. Now we draw our attention back to the original site of the skirmish. We see that giant guy, the Peacemaker. He's still there. He's in the middle of it all, and now he's surrounded by all of those boat dudes. Okay,
Swimmer's almost there too.
Swimmer is almost there, and I'd also like us to focus on the swimmer. Let's see how easily he gets out of the water, because that doesn't look like.
I didn't pay attention to that.
I don't know that this is going to be an easy climb out. E, what do you think? Is he athletic?
No, I think that's definitely a difficult climb out. From my knowledge of docks and stuff, that's not going to be easy.
Not at all. So let's pay attention to that as well. What we've also seen is that the original, let's call him a victim because he did get jumped. The original victim is now standing right here. He fled. He's trying to get away. He is now being
sick. He's with, or is that another dude?
That is a chick who is stopping him and trying to fuck him up. She's trying. She's not letting him escape. What's that, James? Because we're going to play it.
Dude, women, do not get involved when men are fighting. Just don't.
Drunk boat women are
not going to work out well.
Well, and that's the other thing that makes it look so it's like random dudes and random
These
women,
are not random
all
dudes.
white.
These were all dudes on a boat together. Yeah, these dudes.
Well, but I'm saying, but if you're looking at it from the outside and you don't know where they're coming from,
that's what
it looks like random white dudes and random white women are giving this black person a hard time.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Now the dock worker who was jumped, we need to give him a little credit here as we watch this. Remember, we're watching for the person climbing out of the water to see with the ease of which he can manage this. We're watching the Peacemaker over here, and now this woman, he's trying to get away. Man, he might have a broken jaw or something. You know what I mean? In a fight, you just want to get out of there. He wants to go regroup. He's trying to get away, and she does. She is stopping him. She's trying to go around her. And now he just pushes her out. Did you see that? Now he's trying to get around her. She wouldn't let him, and now it's like her husband has shown up. So now he's got to deal with this. Let's keep watching.
Get up there, young buck! Get up there,
he got right up. He comes up.
I was gonna say, we should have. I should have asked you guys to put money on it. That kid, we're gonna watch it again. E, did you see it or did you miss it?
What she said, get off that young buck.
No, the swimmer.
The swimmer in the water is freaking Spider-Man. He climbed right out like nothing. Like no problem.
No, I didn't see. I wasn't watching him. I was listening to the young buck comment.
All right, let's go back. Here we go. Okay, here he is. All right, watch him. E, right now. See the arrow? All right, here we go. Watch him. E.
Yeah.
Watch him. Look at this.
Get up there, young boy! Get up there, young boy!
No problem. That's impressive.
Yes, so that's what she was yelling. Get up there, young buck. So he got up there.
He got up.
The tables already turned. Now it's like 5-on-5 already.
Spider-Man. Now Spider-Man has entered the game. Other people do find themselves in the water, and they have more difficulty than that trying to get back on the dock. We'll be watching for that as well. Let's continue. All right. But it's important to watch him because he's walking away. All right, so he has walked away, right? We just saw him walk away. He's walking away down the pier away from where this incident is. Whatever.
See, to me, it looks like now they're loaded up. It's 3-on-3.
Okay, this is a different camera angle. We are now switching further down the dock, and I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to show you where the guy in the white shirt is. We just saw him. We're watching him walk in the other direction, okay? So this is further down the dock. This was not in the view of the initial camera that we were watching, but this is out here. We'll let this play. So this is the boat that is not supposed to be parked here, and these dudes just got off the paddle boat. And here we go. Okay. So,
Yeah!
whoop, here we go.
Woo!
Yep. So this is an attack.
They scared. Look at them.
This is an unprovoked attack.
Woo!
No.
Beat their ass.
Oh yeah, here we go. All right, so the blue shirts are like dock maintenance and security. You know, they're kids who work there for the summer. That's what all these people wearing the baby blue shirts are. Then you see some uniforms. You see some cops are involved now. The white guys are all the shirtless guys. they're all the shirtless guys.
In front, is that a lady cop with like
that is a lady cop? She does not do so well. But I want to know why all the white trash hillbilly guys are on boats, not wearing shirts but wearing jeans. They're all wearing jeans on a boat.
How rarely are you in jeans and no shirt?
You see a lot of these guys out there at the lake, the guys with no shirts and jeans.
No. This is like
it's like how Richard Hunter goes to the lake.
How Patrick Swayze goes to the lake.
Yeah.
Why did this guy get hit like by this big hillbilly guy?
I don't know. Let's go back a little. All right, here we go.
Oh my God! They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo! Beat their ass. Woo!
I don't know. All right, it's just mayhem at this point. All right, now. All right.
But is it black on white or is it white on white at that point?
See, both y'all are misunderstanding that one guy. He looks kind of pale, but he's a black guy. He's punching the white guy, and he's darker.
Yeah, there's one shirtless guy that is a black guy mixed in there, and he is light.
The bald guy right there.
Shirtless black guys. There's just one shirtless white guy in the bottom of that pile. That guy right there is white. The guy that's black. The one that's standing up. The only white guy right there is the one on the ground.
Yeah, James is right. All right, let me direct your attention now. This is what I'm talking about. Look at way down here. Okay, see the white shirt? That's the guy who was jumped. So that's him when he was walking away in the other direction. He's about to be confronted by the woman who is going to come running from out of nowhere. Okay, so this is going on while we were watching him.
Oh,
that what you get?
Okay, so they're gonna...
That what you get? That what you get? Oh, tie ass up.
So okay.
Who's that?
There is something going on right here that is not good. This girl is getting her ass kicked by people who look to be cashing paychecks from the people who operate the dock. This can't be good for insurance. Look at her.
She whooping her ass.
And there she goes.
Oh, she goes in.
They threw her. Let's watch how that progresses because it's fantastic. Here we go.
Her ass. She better put her.
Here we go. All right. Where is she?
Woo! That what you get?
There she is. All right. Is this her right here?
No. I think she's up there on the right.
The one in the green.
Her?
No, the other one up and to the right.
Her?
I think
it's her. It is. She came out of here. You're right. She wasn't it. She came to rescue this one. So she's just arriving on the scene now. Okay, yeah, that's her, James. Let's watch her.
That what you get?
Right, she's around.
That what you get? Oh,
God. Stay in your seat, lady.
She whooping her ass.
Watch this one on TV.
In the water.
How easily is she going to get out?
She might just want to stay in the water.
She really had a short life cycle.
She did. She entered the fray, immediately got pummeled, and then got thrown by her hair into the water.
She didn't really have much. She didn't really have much resistance.
Nah, what do they call that? She was just fed into the meat grinder. She was just
cannon fodder.
Like she got kind of caught up. How did the other girl survive so well in the green?
Well, let's watch.
Great.
Yeah, it's not over for her yet. So let's watch. Here she is. Let's go back to it. Yeah. Okay, so here she is. She is on the steps. It's not in a good way. Let's see how this progresses. All right, now that dude comes back to help her.
Because y'all were wrong
Some people are coming to help her. She's going back into it. Did you see that? She was free of it.
Yeah, she's back in the fray.
Okay, now.
Uh-oh, this does not look good. This looks 5-on-2-ish now.
All right, now let me direct your attention to one of these dudes who does that thing. Have you ever walked into a room and then immediately went, and then turned around and walked back like you never walked in? That's what the dude in the red shorts does. See, he's already kind of turning. Do you see?
His hand seems like he's in retreat.
He turns away and just starts walking like, I guess I'm looking for the bathroom. It's over here. Like he's not involved. Like he tries to totally play it off, and he gets his ass kicked. But let's watch how this develops, because these boys show up, looking to be involved. Who knows? Maybe they're looking to help people. I don't know. Don't want to judge them. But they show up raring to go on the scene. So let's watch them. Where they are. Look at them. Here we go. Oh, yeah. He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
This guy throws his hands up in the air.
Because he didn't see these guys. When they ran down there, they didn't.
Right. When he came out of the fence, he looked like he was ready to roll, and then it just got a little bit different.
Whoa, I didn't sign up for that. That's the Alabama backfield. Now here they all come. We didn't see them because of the cops. The cops, right. the cops were standing in front, so they thought they were just going to be tough guys,
And the cops are still there, too.
They're checking on their friends that are getting pummeled.
Yeah, no, they're not, James. They're showing up with fists balled up, ready to throw. Okay. They're not checking on their friends like they're freaking medics in a war zone. No, these are soldiers. This is a war, and these are soldiers. Should we watch it again? No, let's watch it again, because I want to make sure that there are no, there's a lot of people here doing some pretty shitty stuff, but enjoyable. Here they come. Here he comes. All right. So this guy's looking to check on his friend, James.
Yeah, he's gonna go pull him out the pile, but he's immediately faced with the guy that's squaring him off, so he squares off too. This other guy is walking over there. He looks.
You don't think they'd have been better served to just not get involved? I mean, come on, man.
Well, they're not better served to watch two women that is in their boat party and the other dude that got dragged in with him. Just watch him get pummeled without trying to break it up or pull it apart or whatever.
Okay. All right. That's
look, if they're coming to bum rush people, how come they're not bum rushing people? How come he doesn't punch that guy in the back of the head that's not looking to the right? How come they don't initiate a contact? How come the second someone bows up to them, they stand down?
James, this guy is literally in a fucking karate pose.
So is the guy in blue in front of him, and he wasn't in the karate pose.
No. Wait a second. Why are you making this about one side's angels and one side's not? No, these these are criminals, man. These guys are looking to create mayhem and bust heads. These guys, I'm telling you, are just as bad. And you're trying to say, no, they're heroes checking on their friends.
I'm saying at this point, they have realized that they have made a mistake.
Yeah, they have. And let's watch
this fight, and they're vastly outnumbered, and they just need to get the F out of here, and they need to get those two women out from that dog pile so they can get the F out of here.
Well, they don't really seem to care all that much about the women.
So is it team Steamboat against team Pontoon?
Yeah.
Is that what this has turned into?
Yeah. This, I don't know what this pontoon boat or what this tourist boat was filled with. I don't know what was going on. But there was a lot of people got off it and started fighting. So it was for these 5 guys, it was just bad timing. A lot of people on this boat wanted to fight him. Here we go. Watch. Here he throws his arms up. Now he's going to turn and walk like, I'm just looking for the bathroom.
Yeah, real aggressive. Yeah, real.
James, do you not see him throwing punches? I mean, he's throwing punches to a
guy. They both got
hit
hit in the back of the head walking away.
Yeah, and now they're fighting as well.
Did that guy hit his own buddy?
It looks like that. And now the woman.
Oh, the woman in the blue.
The guy who was is that the guy who was checking on the women that James said? Did he just punch that woman in the face?
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Yeah. Do some.
All right, we're looking for red short. No, this is.
Oh, he swung at that guy.
Yeah, this is okay. So this is James. What James was saying, like some of the black dudes have no shirts too. Okay. All right, so now this woman gets in. Yeah, he shuts her down. There you go. I'm sure a warrant for his arrest.
Yeah.
All right, and now there's more going on down here. This James, you mentioned the chair guy.
Yeah, this Hacksaw Jim Duggan looking.
Yeah, this is where chair guy, you should be looking at 5 years in prison after his actions on this day. Chair guy is down here. We're gonna get to see him in a second.
Look at the broad.
Here we go.
The broad jumping.
All right, this looks like this is slowing down. Here we go. Let's get the chair guy. All right, now, E, are you following along? Now we're looking at an angle that is further down in front of the tug or the party boat, where all the people are, right? So this is what's going.
Is this the Harriet Tubman?
Yes, but now it's the Harriet 2. These are people getting off this boat and tangling immediately with security, and I don't know who else, James. Well, let's watch it. Let's watch. All right, so here you got Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, he is dressed for a night out on the water. Look at him. He looks amazing. He did not want this bullshit going down with his good pants.
How Dr. Dre dresses.
That is how Dr. Dre dressed back in 1999.
Okay.
And I can tell you that this guy doesn't want to get blood on those white pants. That's going to be a difficult clean. So this is not where he intended the day to be. All right, now, okay. All right, so this guy, gray hair man, who has his billfold, yeah, he still carries a billfold. He seems to have his billfold tucked into his butt, okay? So now, Dr. Dre looking guy, 1999. Come on, man. He looks like Dr. Dre in 1999.
Is gray hair guy shirtless?
Yes, gray hair guy is shirtless. Dr. Dre guy is kind of talking to this other guy, and gray hair guy kind of sucker punches him. So here we go. This is how this starts.
Wrong for jumping on that black man like that, baby.
I'm certain James. There's a shove. They're hitting each other. There's and now all right. I don't know, James. What do you think happened there? Do we need to see it again?
No,
I'm not sure what happened there.
Gray-haired guy is clearly in the wrong on this one because he did try and sucker punch a guy. I don't care if he's friends with those two dudes or not. They were squabbling. They had pushed apart, and gray-haired guy thought he was just going to get a free punch on him. I think he just didn't land it right, and now Dr. Dre is super pissed and is about to twist his head off.
Dr. Dre's about to get blood on those white pants. E, how did you see it so far?
I love the fact that gray hair guy missed him, and Dr. Dre's now got his head, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens from
now.
there.
Whatever happens to you after this, gray-haired man, you just asked for it.
Gray hair man also, remember, has his billfold, his very important life documents that are securely tucked in his butt that you'll see in the front. See it? Wait, what is that?
Oh, that looks like his flip flop or
flop. Yeah, maybe that's. But I was thinking, old guys used to put their wallets back there. I thought maybe it was a wallet.
For the director's cut, make a note here that I don't store anything in my ass crack ever.
Yeah, no,
that's not even one of the. It's not on the inventory.
So it's a bad habit to get into, I think. All right. All right, now.
Or else he's a waiter and he's got his tab stuck in his ass.
No, you don't do that when you're a waiter. You don't want to hand.
Yeah, that looks like how. But yeah, he's not a waiter. But that is absolutely something that a waiter would do. All right, we got this guy here in the purple. He comes up out of nowhere. He's going to jail. He's just throwing punches. Gray hair guy is getting his ass kicked.
Well, yeah, those are kind of arm punches too. When people do this, I've had that happen to me. It doesn't hurt nearly as bad as like a real punch.
Still hurts when it's like 10 people.
It does.
Scratching and pinching them. I mean, this is an uncomfortable.
I love the fact that gray hair guy is getting waylaid. He just had no business in this.
He didn't, but he had a couple cocktails. He's on the lake. He's feeling himself. You know how it is. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in a minute, you're going to meet the star of this video, James. We call him Chair Guy, right?
Yeah.
He's
Oh, I saw him. He's the executioner. That guy.
He's an older black gentleman who decides that he's been waiting a lifetime for this opportunity, and he's going to shoot his shot. So he picks up a chair.
He's going to take the chair way to heaven.
Yes, he is. Right. There's the chair. I think the chair has just appeared. It was just dropped to the ground. But now there it is. Okay.
There it is.
There's Chair Guy. Chair Guy, I don't believe is hitting anyone here. I think he's trying to break it, maybe to make it sharp. I don't know.
Oh,
never underestimate Chair Guy. Oh, he is beating somebody. Oh, he's beating.
He's beating him senseless.
Is that gray
hair guy?
He's beating gray hair guys senseless with the chair. Boom, boom, boom. Dr. Dre even got hit.
All right. Now this is someone's mom here, maybe even someone's grandma, and I don't like what's about to happen to her, but
we're about to see someone go to jail. Someone's going to jail for what happens next.
Well, we are playing Chair Guy's greatest hits, so here we go.
Ray swore or not, that is some compelling footage.
One more time. Right now, this is what we call justice. This is
kind of right. Justice comes in all forms.
This is our tax dollars at work here. So Chair Guy is being told now by a cop that you can't do that. That's chairs. This is bad enough.
Hey, I want to give such credit, and I don't mean this sarcastic in the least, such credit to the cops in this situation. They can't break up the whole fight. And as long as people are just punching or hair pulling or biting or clawing, whatever. But the chair guy, that's when they jump into action. And that's exactly when they should jump into action, because none of this is fatal. You know, this is you're going to be sore in the morning, but no one's going to the hospital under the previous sort of understood
like threatenings, right? We're not looking, unless we're pulling people out of the water so they don't drown, but no guns are being used, no knives. These are just a bunch of idiots throwing fists at each other, let them tire themselves out. It's kind of like hockey rules, right? You wait for it to go to the ground and then you get involved.
Well, until a chair's involved.
Right.
That's
exactly.
like I think.
Yeah, and
I'm 100% with James here. I think like at this point in time, the police's reaction is 110% spot on. This is the guy that if you are going to arrest somebody, needs to be arrested immediately. Like the rest of it was, you know, you kind of get what you gas for when you're fighting another human. But when you bring a chair in, and you do what you did, and then you just come across and waylay that lady. Oh,
yeah, that's attempted murder. Let's be honest. You could drop a net on this dock and you could just pull everybody in and sort the shit out downtown. I mean, everybody here could probably be brought in for something, but you got to put the guy with the chair in special handcuffs. He gets a ride in a police car alone, because, yeah, this is a different level that he is now taking it to. So let's watch him get arrested.
Oh, my God.
They're going to jail. I didn't do this. Oh, my God. Now watch. Now this is interesting. So I don't know if this is an Ebony and Ivory moment that we should all relish, but it seems like.
How did he make it to the ground?
Well, he got taken down to the ground. The guy, he was kind of resisting a little.
But do we get to see?
Yeah,
that?
they kicked his ankles. They were holding him and they kicked his ankles.
Yeah, here you go. I mean, yeah, you know, maybe we don't get to see it. Yeah, there it is. So they just took him to the ground. What we're about to see here is, I think it's going to be a white woman who's going to run to the rescue of this gentleman who's now being pinned by police. Chair Guy. Yeah, aforementioned Chair Guy. We're going to watch what happens to this white lady. Here she comes, right? Okay. So, you see her? She just showed up. Standing in front of this guy in the yellow. Get out of here.
Or did she try to mace him?
I don't know. But the cop was just like
by him or something.
I don't know what she was doing. It was probably just a drunk. These are all drunk people. Everybody that is in Bolt culture on a weekend, they're drunk, or at least a little bit liquored up. I mean, I swear to God, am I lying? These people all have a couple of
It doesn't look like it's the brightest of, you know.
I mean, this woman thought now was a good time to approach the cop with whatever bullshit. There is a guy and he's looking at me fun. You know what I mean?
Right. Where's the bathroom? Yeah.
Yeah. Something stupid like that. Like, oh my God, do you know? All right, so what? So she shows up and she immediately gets. All right, well, there you have it. That is some of the best video that we've seen around these parts in quite some time. That is heretofore known as the Alabama Boat Brawl.
So stupid.
People are beautiful, aren't they? Aren't people just wonderful?
No, but the first guy who threw the punch, Like, how bad does he regret that? Like, what a whole. This is the worst decision that dude has made in his entire life. Look, chair guy's going to get, if anybody's going to get the worst penalties, it might be chair guy, but really he deserves the most because the dude that threw the first punch and started it is the chain reaction that none of this other garbage would have happened had it not been for that first bad decision.
Yeah, chair guy is the only guy that we saw with conclusive evidence of use of a deadly weapon. He was banging people with a chair. But we don't know. Again, there's an ongoing investigation. There's been 3 arrests made already. There are 3 other arrest warrants that they've issued looking for 3 other individuals. Here's what this was. This was a fight between a bureaucrat. I mean, that's what the guy who works the dock who says you can't park there is. It was a fight between a bureaucrat. It very easily could have been a parking meter attendant on a street, or, just a fight between a bureaucrat and a bunch of drunk young dudes who are out partying on a boat who just fuck you, motherfucker. I mean, right? You know how these young guys on boats get. I mean, they get full of themselves. And again, this is what I mean. I don't have any reason to believe that it's racial. I mean, I don't just immediately think that these guys were like, oh, look at this F and N, right? No,
of course not. Of course not. But
aesthetically, it does look bad from afar. It looks like.
I also get the impression that some people that were running to the defense of the original guy may have been motivated by race, or maybe they were all friends, or maybe they were all friends with someone in there, and so there's sort of this chain reaction. But no, this isn't a race war. This is a bunch of idiots fighting. Just idiots.
No, it isn't. You're right. What is it in reality? But what my point is, what could it have become? It could have very easily spilled out into a race war. One of these people dies. One of these people, suddenly we got a black kid, and then suddenly Birmingham is burning. No, James, this is how these things happen. They're not based on fact. They're based on whatever the buzz is in the community, and people just start running with it.
This isn't the class of people, white, black, or whatever color, that go throw a brick through a window and loot a Foot Locker, or throw bricks at cops, or pull out a gun and start spraying some kid's birthday party. These are people on both sides who can afford to hang out on a boat on the weekend. So that automatically puts you in the higher.
I don't know. Look at what Barney says here. Look at what Barney says. Barney's got it right. The white people are private boat hammered, and the black people are tour boat buzzed because they got it.
But the black people that go on a paddle boat are not the same people who start these horrible race wars. This is no,
of course. Look, we're talking. Everybody goes on tour boats, James. Everybody gets invited on a booze cruise. Yeah, come on. We've seen some pretty scary folks out there, haven't we?
I mean, the booze cruise crowd is definitely a little bit different than just on the boat by yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't an architectural tour of old Birmingham by sea.
But they're older. They're dressed better. They don't have their pants hanging down to their knees. They're not wearing do-rags. They are at least middle class, if not upper middle class. There's no riot happening here.
True.
I'm pretty sure we saw a riot happening there. That was a riot, a small one, but it certainly was chaos in a public place concerning innocent people.
If it's not for the chair guy, this is a bunch of people just kind of having a slap fight at a boat party.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. And that's what I was hypothesizing, that what if someone had died, though? I mean, what if that guy who was getting jumped, what if he looked heavyset? What if he had a massive heart attack while getting jumped by 6 people? Then all of a sudden the story is 6 white guys beat a security guard to death. And what are the police doing about, you know what I mean?
Oh, that I agree with. Yes.
So I'm just saying, we're lucky we got what we got. We got chair guy.
But that would have been other people jumping on it. These were not the kind of people that do that.
Yeah. All right. Or flip it the other way. Chair guy splits that old lady's head open. What if he breaks her neck with that chair? That's a very real possibility.
White people aren't going to go riot over some other white person.
Well, no. But anyway, it's very complicated. We live in very complicated times, and I'd say that we may have dodged a bullet with that one, because it doesn't seem to have spilled. Nobody got killed. There's no reason to burn a city down. It's just, as we say, a bunch of human beings who got stupid with each other.
They're all stupid.
It just happened to be that the one guy was black. Any thoughts in closing on the Alabama boat brawl?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Chair Guy gets what he gets.
Yeah, we need to learn about Chair Guy. I don't think his name has been released, but you can trust me, as I did with the Idaho College murders, I will be following this story very closely. It is my intention to become the nation's foremost authority on the follow-up stories regarding the Alabama boat brawl. All right, James. That's it.
Love that video, though. Thank you for everyone who took the time to video that for us instead of going helping their fellow human in need. You got us some good footage. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank
work.
you. Citizen journalists at work. I really appreciate it.
Later,
All right.
losers.
There goes E. He's done. All right, there he goes. There he goes. He's gone. All right, everybody. I guess that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for more Radio Misfits. Myself, Pugs Moran. He's James Parker, and the other guy who was out of frame the entire show. That's E the Artist. Every Monday through Thursday. Right now. Sorry, not Mondays. I can't say Mondays anymore because we're not going to be doing Mondays. We'll make it up to you. We'll do other things. I promise. I know, as a matter of fact, I know that we've got other things that we're doing. Okay. We're out of here. Love you much. See you tomorrow at noon. My High Noon show. High Noon. Topics, current events, trends, whatever it is people are talking about. I'll give it to you tomorrow at noon. Join me, won't you? Please do. Hope you do. See you then. Bye.
Is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I have got an old guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little